This is missing on normal and hard. Before you get the quest, you'll want to talk to Tessa Astor, who will give you the full chain, and then you could talk to the quest giver. I'm going to pause while I go there, and then we'll talk to Godwick's Burge to get the missing quest, and then we'll run the quest, which is just right around the corner. We'll go down here and we will pull this lever, and that will open the way for us. And this quest is a little bit easier if you have Dimension Door. I don't have Dimension Door, so I won't be able to take some of the shortcuts. And so there's a few things I'm going to be doing that I might not otherwise do if I had Dimension Door, but that's okay. It's a pretty quick quest. Alright, so we'll talk to Guard Boskin to get the next objective, to collect some evidence. Okay, we'll pull this lever. Get through here. Alright, Mind Flayer. It's already had an experience with getting my mind eaten by a Mind Flayer recently. Alright, so this book here is clue number 1.
Paper inside the book
so we have 2 more things that we need to collect.
1 dozen school children in good condition. Shipped to Mr. Smythe. Payment on delivery.
I'm going to clear this area. You could probably skip it, but it might be, if you're in a group, you'll want to make sure you clear it so people coming through don't run into problems. And you want to go down here, pull a lever, and that'll open the way forward. And then if you go through this hole here, and this way to the right is an optional. I used to do this optional every time I did this quest. I did all the optionals. You pull that lever if you ever want to try that optional. It's pretty cool to do the entire quest with all the optionals. Then we're going to skip them, and you can go down here. And so on higher difficulties, you get a slightly different, you get some more dangerous enemies in parts of this area. Not here necessarily. Well, you actually do here too. And especially the next part. and the Rask hounds are no joke on high difficulties. And here's evidence piece number 2.
The final entry in the diary reads, "This Smythe fellow is involved in questionable activities, but I'll use the Borson name to keep the guards away, so long as he keeps sending platinum my way. In any case, no one will notice the disappearance of some common street rabble."
Alright, so this guy's optional. You could skip him. He's... a common tactic is to skip him and then... and then come here, and then when you're done with this room, D-door. We don't have D-door, so we're gonna go back the long way. Alright, and this is where we're gonna find the third clue.
The last entry in the account book reads, 8 dozen sturdy iron cages, warranted to hold prisoners, ordered by Mr. Smythe and paid in full.
So we're gonna just go across here. Anything that attacks us we'll deal with, but if it leaves us alone, we'll just leave it alone. Oh, looks like my hireling brought a lot of friends. Alright, so we are going to... swim this way to get back to the start. And I'm sensing a trap. Don't know if I can check. Oh, there's a trap. Let me get my underwater breathing action item on. Just kind of follow it. It's a fairly linear path. And we are back to the beginning, but there's been a change. There's a lot more enemies here now. And we might have a little bit of fight over here as well. Alright, now we'll show the guard the evidence. And there's a shrine, but we're just going to go right to the end fight. Over here.
A solitary warforged stands in the center of the courtyard. You have finally located the elusive Mr. Smythe. signal from the streets of the Saltire district. But who was this odd beholder working for? And what is the purpose of the creatures known as the Taken? One investigation is complete, but another is just beginning.
And so we need to talk to Guard Boskin to get the objective, to find the evidence. And you can already see there's the mob was bigger than it was on normal, and it's bigger yet on elite. So that's part of the challenge of in this particular chain and going up in difficulty level is not just more difficult mobs, but more mobs. And I think mind flares, that's not good. Definitely want to stop those two mind flares. I did not notice them if they were next to me out there. I'm going to grab the first evidence
inside the
right
book
here.
Reads bill of sale. 12 school children in good condition. Shipped to Mr. Smythe. Payment on delivery.
So we'll go this way and we'll jump down. And then that lever getting pulled does spawn a few demons, renders and Thorascounts. We'll just fight what's kind of in our way and leave the rest alone. And this lever and this area to the right is an optional area. There's a chest there and a couple different opportunities for some experience points and a fair amount of fighting. And so the Taken aren't particularly difficult enemies. There's just usually a lot of them, a big mob, and they do some acid damage. So probably could give myself and Hireling acid for sure on Elite. Acid resistance. There's the Thorascons. And they do Phantasmal Killer, but with Death Block, we don't have to worry about that. Mind Flare Mage. And I've had my brain eaten at this level once. That's enough for me.
The final entry in the diary reads, "This Smythe fellow is involved in questionable activities, but I'll use the Borson name to keep the guards away, so long as he keeps sending platinum my way. In any
And I'm just going
case,
to park the
no
Hireling
one
here
will
so he
notice
doesn't
the
drag a bunch
disappearance
of
some common
enemies over
street
to
rebel.
us. And then I'm going to ignore this optional to the left. It's actually a pretty cool one. You might want to try it. I'm just going to go in here. There's the Thorascon for sure. Get this Thorascon, there we go. Yep. And the Mind Flare, I want to stay out of his range. Alright.
The last entry in the account book reads, 8 dozen sturdy iron cages, warranted to hold prisoners, ordered by Mr. Smythe and paid in full.
And you could actually, if you want to avoid it, you can swim over this way a little. Well, I guess I dragged this stuff this time. So I think the original way I took is probably a little better. And I can call the Hireling over now. Yeah, there's a lot of the Taken, but they're rather squishy. And if the mobs are too much, you could always use draw them back sort of tactics.
A solitary warforged stands in the center of the courtyard. You have finally located the elusive Mr. Smythe.
And there is a chaos absorption item from Lost at Sea, and that's actually very helpful for this quest.
Snatching people from the streets of the Saltire district. But who is this odd beholder working for? And what is the purpose of the creatures?
Alright, well, we got a named Greatsword. Unfortunately, it's not a very good one.
Is complete,
but if you ever want to have -2 to your dexterity, -2 to your AC, and -1 to your wisdom, this is your Greatsword right here, Insanity. So once upon a time, it was never really a great item, and now it's probably worse than random loot. Alright, nothing super interesting here. I'm just going to grab something to break down for instances, and that is missing on normal and hard.